Washington, D.C. The Washington Monument stands in the distance as we get set for another Major League Pickleball matchup. Can't wait to showcase two phenomenal teams. I'm Cameron Irwin hanging out with Rob Casti as we get set for another epic battle. Ben Johns is out on the court playing alongside his brother, Colin Johns. You gotta be kidding me. These two guys now on the same Major League Pickleball team for the first time. They're gonna face off against this really solid Dallas Flash Pickleball Club. So it's the Carolina Pickleball Club as the opponents. As we get set, I'm liking the names. These are two teams that have switched things up here in 2024, Rob.
Yeah, mixing it up. And, you know, the Carolina Pickleball Club making their debut at this second event of the year. This men's doubles team coming out 1-0 so far. I don't know if there's a team out there that has more chemistry than these two. And coming up, one of our first event of the year is the heavy hitters, J.W. Johnson and Augie Guh, looking to keep it going. So this is going to be an exciting one for sure.
Well, if there were founding fathers in the sport of pickleball, it would probably start with this guy, Ben Johns. You can check out the DUPR right now, 7.29, but he has over 100 PPA career gold medals. He is the Triple Crown King. No one has done more in the sport than this guy.
Yes, the best player in the world here with us at the MLP Washington, D.C. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the lefty and J-Dub to do their magic and put up a good fight. Yeah, and of course, Colin Johns, the master himself.
Colin Johns, brother to Ben, and playing that infamous right side, one of the best backhand counter slaps you'll see in the game. So you got to watch out for him. But the opposition, J.W. Johnson has been on a riot through the PPA schedule, playing alongside Dylan Frazier. But the question is, what does he look like playing alongside Augie Guh? But that's going to be a big task for Colin Johns on that right, as he's
those kids, and they are some top-notch pickleball players. His lack of movements, his lack of backswing makes his hands so fast, so good. Oh, and there she is, Julie Johnson, Coach Julie Johnson in the house, ready to root on her team. She just got off rooting for the Miami Pickleball Club because she's got some kids on that team as well. So here we go, looking like we're getting ready to get underway with men's doubles, MLP DC.
So we will start with men's doubles.
Game one.
Colin Johns with the serve. 0-0. On the reception, Augie Guh. These teams rounded out with Hurricane Tyra Black and Georgia Johnson for Dallas. Make sure everyone's awake. A long first point to get started, but on the opposite side, you also have some really solid women, as the Carolina Pickleball Club has Andrea Koop and Jessie Irvin.
1-0. Side out, point one.
So with Augie Guh, you have to know the ball's going to be coming his direction with so much respect on the side of J.W. Johnson and those hands. There's the quick attack, Colin Johns up the line. Where can Augie go against the Johns brothers?
Yeah, he's got options. He'll need to be moving the ball around, and based on how these points are and what it's going to take to win this match could potentially be in the running for the world record of longest rally scoring match of all time. It has the potential for it. These points are going to be long and calculated. Strap in, folks. Oh, shut down by Colin Johns.
Even the speed-ups on both sides right now seem really calculated. Not necessarily a ton of pace coming off the speed-ups, but maybe more pinpoint in terms of their location.
Side out.
I mean, you mentioned Ben had the opportunity to attack, but opted not to. All of that stems from, you know, the respect for the hands of the opponent. We got 4 very good counter punchers. Generally In this match, he who starts it will lose it.
Okay. Something to track.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be on a T-shirt.
So, yeah. That's Kung Fu Panda 5.
You know what? That franchise probably has 5 films at this point.
Yeah.
4-6.
Oh, he was sitting on that. The forehand was quick to get there, but I believe that ball is just long.
7-4.
7-4 for the Carolina Pickleball Club. Double off the corner for Aguiga. They had to take it. The Dallas Flash earned one back. I mean, talk about spot at the right time.
5-7.
And they're trying to keep J-Dub down at the baseline. A lot of teams we've seen maybe go a bit more after Aguiga through the transitions. Right now, they're trying to keep J-Dub at bay.
You know, combo like Colin Johns, Ben Johns, there's no one necessarily that you need to be fearing out there. And even though JW might be the alpha, still need him to touch the ball on your terms.
Oh, that backhand cut, getting away from Augie.
Yeah, and that's kind of the first reveal of kind of a spot to potentially target for Colin and Ben.
Peg and Ben Johns, a little net love on the side of Dallas. Augie showcasing that he's got both weapons on the backhand side, the single and the double.
7-8.
Kitchen needs a remodel. Every inch of it was just hit. Talk about a dink rally. There's Dave Fleming.
Yes, Dave Fleming, when not in the booth. He's on the court coaching two of the best players in the world with his insights.
Very often from him.
No, he shifted from the patience and decided to strike. And on the other side of the coin here, we have JW and Augie really don't need to be fearing anybody either. You don't have to be afraid of your opponent. That will always take you in the wrong direction. So taking your shots and taking it to whoever that is in front of you, may it be Ben Johns, got to take your shot.
Great recovery. J.W. Johnson quickly moves to the middle. And something to track for you. You mentioned some of the dinks from Aguiga. He's had 2 errors on that backhand slice dink on the volley.
Love that dink volley shot from Ben.
Yeah, he just changed what he was doing, didn't he? Colin just missing, and he checks down at the line, but instead Ben was reaching into the kitchen, taking that as a volley. Earlier in this, he was working back and taking that ball off the bounce. A little change, taking the time away from Dallas.
Yeah, if you want to slow the game down or maybe give yourself more time, of course, play the bounce. If you want to take time away from your opponent, reach in there, take it out of the air. Both great options. I love the dink volley. Unfortunate missed overhead from Colin to get to the side switch. See if the Johns brothers can turn this around.
A look at the combined DUPR for Johnson and Guh, 13.67. This is a bit of a stunning situation just in terms of the switch here at the end change. 13-9, the Dallas Flash with the lead over the top, or one of the top men's pairings in the country and in the sport. Exhaustion level, a little bit different.
10-13. Point.
Augie missing on the volley. A loose error there for Dallas.
Side out, point 14.
So we started this game off with some extended dink rallies.
14-11.
Since the switch, a couple errors in early rallies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Such a great time for that Ernie. Benjamin all over it. That was a lefty hit.
Scooped by Colin Johns.
Point 16.
How about a little southpaw action for you?
Yeah.
They said he used to have two forehands in his tennis game.
16-12.
Shout out to Enrique Ruiz, El Condor, the first pickleball player to really rock that style. Hall of Famer. Speaking of founding fathers. Oh my goodness, back to the reset.
The most casual reset from Colin, and he can't double it up.
Too casual. First one was a slide dog. Second one, a little foolish, you know. That first one was very impressive. Nice replay. The second, the follow-up though, I think he could have done a little bit more to really take that point into their hands.
17-12 Dallas is moving quickly here.
Augie Guh really breaking it open a little bit. And yeah, it's going to be a timeout called.
Wow, did you see this coming? 18-12 right now. We played a 25. Like, this is pretty crazy, right?
No, not exactly. I see a little bit of sleepwalking from the Johns, a little bit. Like I said, I'd love to see that energy. But the reason why, Cam, I mentioned this match might go for the world record of longest matches because I kind of believe that slowing it down here is the solution to the equation. So doubling down on that. I see Ben's doing his best to do so, but that doesn't mean, take away from the athleticism. A lot of people mix up patience with being passive, and you cannot be passive out there. Got to be patient and alert, patient and pressurized. So
I love that word and your use of it because when you think of Augie Guh, he is anything but passive at this point, making his debut, right, in the premier level. That's pretty astonishing. He is not shy to attack.
Guard is down, and it is time to strike.
19-12.
Energy is everything here.
Point.
And they are done with this one. Going to look to try to win it in, 3.
20-12.
20-12. Dallas.
Point.
And there is just no connection right now between Ben and Colin. They're not finding their game.
21-12.
I think everyone's a bit stunned right now. What a return, though.
Point.
Maybe that's what's going to get them going. Plenty of pace sent back. Find the baseline.
13-21. Point.
A little interesting. I will say that temps have released just a bit as we are now sitting at about 4:30 local time.
14-21.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, a little overcast is always nice.
Ooh. That thing spun like a globe on the top of the net.
15,
Little
21.
sorcery from Colin. Reaching in and maintaining his balance. That's J.W. Johnson.
Yeah, notoriously slow starters with their energy. Yeah, it's all the way to 25, but it's still a quick game. Hopefully they can break open into that some of that energy over the course of this MLP match.
16, 22.
Ben looks like he's starting to do so a little bit.
Been a little stunned off that one.
It's all too little too late as J-Dub
23, 16.
and Augie are taking care of business. 2 away.
Dream start for the Dallas Flash, taking the men's matchup 25-17. Absolutely astonishing performance from Augie and his partner J.W. Johnson. What you like the most?
Over before it started, you know, the lack of conversations between Ben and Colin. I know that they have their systems in place and whatnot, but there was nothing to build on, no energy, and that's the result you're going to get. Congrats to Dallas Flash.
Scoreboard updated. The Dallas Flash now up 1-0. The ladies are taking championship court next. The nation's capital is hosting Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville. Cameron Irwin alongside Rob Cassidy as we now get set for the women's doubles matchup at the premier level. It's Johnson and Black versus Irvin and Coop. I thought this one was circled because it was going to be a real toss-up which direction this could possibly go. But so far, Dallas Flash has come out superbly, picking up the men's doubles match, taking down the Johns brothers. But a look now to the other Johnson, that's Georgia Johnson, as she's a part of the Dallas Flash, one of the great performers in the women's game on the ability at the kitchen, just so much firepower. And speaking of firepower, there's some right there from Hurricane Tyra Black as well. And the opposition is going to be Andrea Coop for the Carolina Pickleball Club and Jessie Irvin. But Hurricane Tyra Black, so solid, as is Jessie Irvin, one of the absolute veterans of the game. What do you like about how her game has maybe shifted at this point in her career?
Well, Jessie Irvin's definitely a student of the game. You know, I always go back to the old-time conversation I had with her where her goal was, quote, I just want to be the best. So I love that mentality that I always think of Jessie in that conversation. And I love her commitment to the game. And she's got new weapons, new options, and relentless discipline. So she goes in with the game plan and she executes. So it's always great to watch Jessie play.
That is a great descriptor of Jessie Irvin. Relentless discipline, one of the most disciplined in the sport. And Andrea Coop, the lawyer, although she did not play tennis there, but one of the great forces in the tennis game in Los Angeles. So when you're looking at this team, where on earth do you go? Because I feel like on one side there is a lot of maybe power and pressure a look to speed ups, and on the other side, maybe it's a little bit more of that steady veteran play. Do you think I'm right?
Yeah. I wouldn't want to lead with where do I need to go.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that kind of almost puts some doors, some walls up on your options. Go out there, play, and keep the ball shallow. Don't deny the volley and play some good pickleball.
All right, you got Georgia on the right side, Tyra on the left. And this dink through the midcourt from Jessie Irvin. Tyra Black improving on her kitchen game, specifically on the dink in the last year. With a focal point. Former professional tennis player.
Oh, man.
How about that push? Jessie Irvin, full extension, single on the backhand volley.
A little different from the start of the guys' game. It's a great close from Jessie Irvin.
You think that was staying in?
Yeah, I didn't see anything going out. I had eyes on Jessie. I like the attack, the pressure.
I like it.
Drop again.
That ball just wide of the court. So again, careful.
Their way through the point. It's one of the great things about pickleball, the different.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that it was gonna be the aggressive style of play, the speed ups on the side of Dallas, but it looks like Jessie Irvin is just going full send right now on the left. Talk about strike first pickleball.
It's a culmination of different things that are allowing for these points to look the way they are. It's, this ball in this heat, this paddle technology, even the time of day. And the drives are going to stay on court. The ball is coming back, and you have to be ready. We're getting some exciting points out of it.
Ben Johns on the sideline right now.
3-5.
Still looking to serve as a bit of a coach here with these two out.
It has been a tough day. Ben Johns in his earlier match, what I felt like did everything he possibly could to win that match, and they lose it by just a hair. And then to come out and be down one in the men's doubles. Only so much the man can do.
For you. What an angle. Hurricane Tyra Black sends it back cross court.
Tyra's that combination of precision and athleticism that
7-4.
is formidable in any situation. Jessie Irvin finds the middle.
5-7.
And again, we talked about the aggressiveness still coming from Jessie. That drive getting away all the way back at the baseline there. Who's gonna take it? It's Dallas. What a hands battle here. Andrea Coop sliding middle, utilizing that two-hand backhand. But ultimately, Dallas walks away with it.
tough.
Georgia Johnson really does such a nice job holding that kitchen line. She kind of half volleys so many of those dinks on the forehand side. Just watch some of the footwork from these two teams. One on the kitchen from Dallas, and then the opposite. Jessie Irvin really working those feet.
Very unlucky by Jessie Irvin.
Trying to chase that down off the top of the net.
Jessie Irvin, you know, she's a player that's known to be willing to do that cross-court grind forever. But when you run into... that was obscene, and as far as I'm concerned, it looks pretty intentional.
What a shot. Chop wood, Tyra Black.
The intentional shank, too good. Georgia now looking to dictate this cross-court battle. The thinking is on point here between the ladies. Good patience here. And the lob is out.
I haven't seen it yet. We saw a good amount actually on the men's matchup from Dallas specifically. Agika looking to go up the line and cross court, I think 1-1 in both regards. That was the first from Dallas here in this women's pairing.
Jessie Irvin.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Singular motion and got caught on the paddle, but
you give them an inch and they're right back in the point, achieving the 13 first. They're going to get their side switch here, end switch in most languages. Crazy stuff.
So far, the Dallas Flash looking so solid. Men's match on their side. Women's match now at 13-8 at the change of ends. Julie Johnson in the ear now of Hurricane Tyra Black. And a look at the head-to-head. Carolina making their Major League Pickleball debut in the 2024 season right here in DC, whereas Dallas has put in some work already. You can see the team DUPRs head-to-head. Carolina again having taken a loss earlier today to the New York Hustlers in the Dream Breaker. Dallas will get a shot to play another match today.
Nice.
They'll be out on the grandstand in our 6 o'clock window.
15 seconds. A lot of interesting things going on in this match, Cameron. And it is just what I was about to bring up. I was very curious about having the Jessie on the left side, and they have adjusted. They've made the adjustment to relocate Jessie Irvin on the right side. I am looking forward to see how this works out for them. Jessie Irvin is that rock. She likes, you know, her sliver of court that she can really dominate and shut down. She had to play bigger than I've ever seen in that first half of the match. We now have Coop in that role.
See where the targets shift. You can anticipate that Black and Johnson at least had some conversation. They had to somewhat anticipate that this could be a potential switch at the change of end.
Tough, tough. New looks for yourself when giving new looks to your opponent. It's tough to settle in. We got Georgia Johnson, who's very familiar with the right side, and of course, Tyra Black, extremely comfortable with dominating the left. Speed. that overhead.
Point 17.
Tyra Black is a machine, and she is taking care of business.
At what point do you just start to kind of ice her out? Try to find something with Georgia.
1,000%.
Yeah, but that's dangerous too. Some of the best hands are on the side of Georgia Johnson. Some of the quickest.
18-9.
It's a tough task for Andrea Koop.
Point.
Tyra Black and Georgia Johnson are brick walling right now.
And again, they're just not even really moving. They're not really getting pressured on the dink. They've sent a couple now towards the middle.
Point.
But just when you think they've got the advantage, that was a good move because they got Black just a little bit off balance, but couldn't take advantage. It's now 20-9. I mean, this is kind of astonishing from the scoreboard perspective. Am I wrong?
It's great pickleball, and there is no solution for Tyra Black, Georgia Johnson right now on championship court here in Washington, D.C. Haven't seen much like that in a while, especially in this format, to be so unstoppable. So very impressive to Tyra Black, Georgia Johnson. The Dallas Flash Pickleball team is one of those teams that's going to make that deep run this year, MLP 2024.
Yeah, it's fun as we have a new look in 2024. We've already had one regular season event. The season standings become so important as you earned points based off of your regular season. That's dangerous territory. How about the hold and deliver? Tyra Black.
21-9.
Again.
That's the second time in a row she's found the middle. They did try and shift a little. They're dinking more to the side of Georgia. The Blacks found back-to-back winners. I mean, has she made an error?
Not since 2021. And I have to sneak it in before this match ends while I still can. It's one of those rare occurrences. There you go, Coop. This is one of those rare occurrences where you can give best dress to all four players on the court right now as they all have matching blue skirts.
10-23.
That's a good call from you.
Looking good and playing good.
Point.
Not sure if
You can't appeal to me. I know ball is in.
Georgia asking our official whether that ball is in or out. Simple words from the referee. She can't be the one to make it. Already called it in, and so.
No, it's important to have those conversations. Yeah, it's 23-11. You know, doesn't matter that much. But knowing what, you know, your options or your rights are in that moment is important moving forward. So it's good to ask those questions. So they called it in and cannot overturn their own in call.
Ooh, how about that poach? The two hands swinging through. Jesse Irvin.
Let's go, Pete, right here.
12-23.
And another. You might as well just press the full send button. The big red button Jesse Irvin just did.
That's right.
13-23.
for 3.
3 for 3.
A hat trick for Jessie.
14-23.
Oh,
She's everywhere.
Point.
Good lead. Jessie Irvin stuck the paddle out, pulled it away right at the last second. I mean, we've seen crazier things, Rob Cassidy.
15-23.
indeed. I've never seen anything crazier than 4 of the same color skirt on the court, though. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. There's the coup we need. Oh, my goodness.
Jeez, as soon as that ball pops up, it sure makes you nervous. Dallas.
Even on this last attack that Andrea Coop does, she's that one right there, she can't get it down and just gives it away. The trajectory of your shot is the most important thing. Supersedes power every time. We have a game point here. And there it is. It takes 5, but she pushes through. Game point defended.
First game point. Sent the direction now of Carolina.
16-24.
Must win on your serve here in DC.
Yes, love it. How do you feel? Have you been enjoying the scoring so far at this event?
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting when one team is kind of stuck at a specific number. Second game point opportunity.
Defended. And that's too much from Blanc.
25-16.
Love it. Dallas goes up 2-0 over the Carolina Pickleball Club. And with rather emphatic fashion as well.
That's smooth sailing. It's a well-oiled machine over there, the Dallas Flash Pickleball.
Both the men's and the women's matches had some rather lopsided scores. The Dallas Flash are looking to close this out in a flash.
You guys have been great all tournament long so far. I hope we have another good 2 days together. So let's get loud before I do my shot. Come on now. Here we go. Do we get loud now? Let's get loud for Carolina Pickleball Club. For the Dallas Flash. Let's go.
Time to head off to mixed doubles at the premier level for the MLP Washington, D.C. event as the Dallas Flash came to play in their first matchup here in D.C. They are now up 2-0 over the Carolina Pickleball Club.
Yeah, a team on a mission, while the Carolina Pickleball Club looking to find their footing.
So the only way that Carolina can get themselves back into this is by winning not just one mixed matchup, but 2 mixed matchups as well as the Dream Breaker.
Yeah.
Talk about some work to be done on their side.
Yeah, and what I would love to see is Ben Johns going Ben Johns mode out there,
Okay.
right? I'm talking, Nationals 2021 type stuff. Where is the Ben? And I want to see it. I want to see him hovering off the ground. I want to see the fire in his eyes. I want to see Ben Johns take this to a dream breaker.
J.W. Johnson is looking to close this out, though, with a 3-0. We will play that second mixed regardless of who takes this third.
Yeah, and I feel like Georgia Johnson, she's always got that X factor to her. One of the right side greats. I'll tell you, that Delray area manufactures right side of the court greatness, legends, if you will. Gabe Tardio, Georgia Johnson, Johnny Goldberg. Oh, it took me too long to say it, but that's the one right there. Right side legend, manufactures greatness.
Dallas did, in fact, win the toss. They chose to react to mix. So they put out Georgia and J-Dub to start. After seeing the roster, not a surprise, Ben Johns wants to bring this back on the side of Carolina.
There's a glimpse.
One of my probably favorite matchups is whenever you see Georgia Johnson going head-to-head in a mixed matchup with Ben Johns, because she is fearless.
Yeah, and you know, Julie Johnson, you know, not only their mother, but, you know, their teacher, as they were taught in the home. They were homeschooled. And, you know, she does her homework. She does her homework. I'm sure she's had plenty of pamphlets, packets, and essays on Ben Johns and what to do and what not to do. And
I imagine Julie Johnson gives out a lot of gold stars.
yeah.
There's stickers all over that homework. Ooh, Jessie wound up. And a look at Julie Johnson, professional pickleball player in her own right. That's the second time she's dropping it low. Georgia Johnson finds the midcourt. To watch the cross-court exchange between Georgia and Jessie, just from the standpoint of as there are similarities, right? Both of them kind of using that cutting dink off the bounce back cross-court. Their volleys turn more topspin, forehand side.
There it is.
Yahtzee, Ben Johns.
We're getting there. Power level is increasing.
It's just, yeah. It's like one of the Mario brothers, you know? Just leveled up, found the star.
It is, that's right.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's a fantastic decision by Georgia, you know, forcing Ben Johns to cover that sideline, not allowing him to be everywhere at once like he likes to be. Good drop from J-Dub. Such a good setup. These patterns are working. You know Mircea Muraru has his hands on these patterns occurring out here.
Side out, 23.
One of the legendary coaches from the Delray area.
3-9.
3-9.
Ben does a full 360, now in I formation.
Now we're talking. Point of the match right here.
Another lob.
And Ben takes it. What a point. 2 lobs defended. Jesse Irvin taking both of them as a volley. Here's the get from Ben. Takes away himself as a target, then recovers to the left side and secures the point with a hands battle against Georgia Johnson. Great stuff here on Championship Court. MLP, Washington, D.C.
Aiming right at the foot there of Jessie. Tough spot to have to defend now. 10-5 for Dallas.
Side out, point 6.
Missed drop, that's important. Super huge for the Carolina Pickleball Club to minimize the streaks. Drive handled. Oh, but the drop prevails.
Georgia looking to find that volley dropping down.
7-10.
A good amount of arc. Couldn't find quite enough.
Oops. Playing the game now.
Looks as if the tide may be turning here. Again, Carolina needs both mixed matchups. They trail by 2.
Epic get from Jessie. It's getting gritty here. To Ben now. And then to the hole. We've seen it before, and there it is again, the pattern that is taking down the best in the world.
That cross-court battle between Georgia and Jessie. Sliding middle and finding the forehand.
Oh, the Ernie forced. Jessie was there for the cover, but not.
Thinking that maybe a little bit of rain might be coming this direction. Start doing your rain dance, Rob Cassidy.
My rain dance?
Yeah, we want it to go away.
Oh, my go away rain dance?
Yep.
Okay.
The anti-rain dance. A look at Ben Johns and Jessie Irvin's DUPR score. 13-13.
You know, I think they're up for the challenge. Jessie Irvin is a gamer. She's not going anywhere. It's the same thing as before. That solution is just to increase the energy, increase the intensity. You just got to force yourself to get some fist pumps in there and just start counting the fist pumps. Stack the positives.
And you can't forget, just a few years ago, Georgia and J-Dub actually do have a mixed win over Ben and Anna Lee on the Carvana PPA Tour.
It's a short list.
It's a very short list.
14-8.
I don't think you can quite call it a list. No, Anna and James also have one.
And there's that that posture that I just don't like.
15-8.
Shallow return.
Side out,
A
point
little bit of a
9.
change up there.
9-15.
Almost like a slam dunk. Ben Johns goes up and steals that before it finds the back of the court.
10-15. Point.
How do you pick and choose the times to go with a speed up if you're Georgia Johnson right now, especially considering that cross-court think exchange after this point? She didn't even have to look for the speed up there.
It's good dinking from Georgia Johnson, the best Johnson in the game.
16-11.
Georgia Johnson. I'm convinced. See what J-Dub has to say about that. I'm just repeating what Julie Johnson said.
That's, yeah. Fair. Little extra love for sister. But again, Ben trying to create right now well below the height of the net.
17-11.
Our officials.
Yeah, of course.
Delay now underway.
Yeah, the only reason to not play in the rain is, of course, because, you know, a little slick on the court, a little dangerous for the players, and if there's potentially lightning and whatnot. But other than that, I'm sure these guys would love to be getting out there, getting wet, and still playing through. But
well, hopefully we can avoid a little bit of lightning. The Dallas Flash, though, however, are in this matchup right now, just a handful of points away from taking a standings win and a 3-0 score. But for now, we are in a rain delay. Stick around here for more from Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville.
My name is Rich Kleiman. I'm the co-founder of Boardroom. Boardroom covers the intersection of sports, business, and entertainment. I'm also a owner of the Brooklyn Aces, alongside my partner Kevin Durant, who I've been the manager for now 10 years. I'm a sports fan, period, and I'm competitive, and I've been playing tennis most of my life. And when I was first introduced to the sport of pickleball, it was seconds before I realized that I could connect with this sport, that this was a sport I could play the rest of my life. This is a sport I could find great competition from. And I knew Kevin would like it, and I knew a lot of other NBA guys and NFL guys would see the same thing that I was seeing. I think there's a real welcoming kind of nature about the sport. I think once you're around it, you feel like you can play right away. It's not intimidating, however, part of it on the boardroom side, but also on behalf of MLP.
Our guy William putting in some work right now, grabbing the towel to make sure that the court is getting dried off. We are in the midst of a rain delay with Dallas facing off. So the Carolina Pickleball Club making their debut for the 2024 season does have a point, because if you make it to the Dream Breaker, you still walk away with one and you steal one from the opposition. Then it was the DC Pickleball team facing off against the Utah Black Diamonds. So they are 0-2 on the day. A tough one for them as they lost yet again 1-3. So we are right now in our 5th match of the day. Still one to come here on our championship court coverage. We've also got the grandstand still going as they are trying to clear that off as well and try things out. But so far, Rob, what has really impressed you the most as you see Jesse Irvin trying to sort things here in terms of their performance on the side of Carolina?
Yeah, there's a lot of impressive pieces to the beast that is the Dallas Flash. Georgia Johnson shutting down that right side, but also the dominance from Tyra Black. I can almost fear her coming back out and her mixed and doing that same damage, so we will see.
So we will play the 4th game of this match regardless of who wins this mixed matchup. I'm Cameron Irwin alongside Rob Cassidy. And again, maybe Jesse getting a little bit of coaching. That's one of the fun elements. You get a rain delay, get on the phone and find out maybe from somebody back home or elsewhere tuning in, maybe some of the adjustments that she might be looking for. Georgia and J-Dub on the opposite side of the net. Rob and I will be with you throughout the rest of our evening as there is a look at Dave Fleming. We had a chance to catch up with him. We'll give you what he had to say about his team once we get out of this rain delay. Making sure the court is dried off. Ben Johns back out. We'll be right back with you. Things have dried off here in Washington, D.C., and maybe Carolina get a little extra timeout to find their game. The first mixed matchup, Georgia Johnson, J.W. Johnson, facing off against Ben Johns and Jesse Irvin. The shortest rain delay I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I'll take that. And look at this. The sun is actually now breaking through the clouds and onto championship court.
And I just heard Ben say, good ball, Jesse. So, again, that's, even if it's just that, that's the type of turnaround energy that we're going to need here. If we want to stay in this match. Georgia Johnson, right back to work.
Caught up with Dave Fleming during the rain delay. He said the rain was the tears of their fans.
Yeah.
For Carolina.
Yes.
Said it's just not their day right now. They've got to turn things around, try and find that energy. But it is interesting, right? Because there is a new format to Major League Pickleball. 23 regular season matches for each one of these teams. You kind of have to work your way through the season. There's a lot of pickleball to play. This just being the second match of those 23 for Carolina. Still plenty of room to work themselves into a great position in the 24 season.
Great spot.
Point 14.
Ben on that backhand. It's like the original Perseus, it seems like he's using out there today. Lovely backspin drop for point. One of my favorite ways to win a point. Cameron, are you team drive or team drop?
15-20.
I used to be all drive, and then everyone told me to stop driving. I was in that weird wave, right, when they were like, no more driving, and then all of a sudden it shifted back. Jesse fighting to stay alive in the midcourt. You cannot let your foot off the gas pedal right now if you're the Dallas Flash. It just sounds different coming off their paddles. Lights out speed from both of these teams. Jesse trying to find the drive well behind the baseline.
22-17.
A free set from Ben Johns. Catching Georgia just a step off the kitchen. Turning this 18-22. Still a good look here for Carolina. A chance to climb back in this.
18-22.
Play to 25. Another light control from Ben Johns on the reset. He's just cutting those back down at the foot of Georgia.
19-22.
Make it a 3-point game. Lofted on the return from J-Dub. And there it is. The Dallas Flash pick up the 3-0 win thus far and the 3 standings points added in their regular season scoring. How about that? Georgia Johnson, J.W. Johnson. They even came out of the rain delay and still played steady.
Yeah, again, that Dallas Flash machine just getting to work. There's no stopping the Johnson duo. Just a fantastic play, and that's what you're going to get.
matchup, the women's matchup. They have also added the first mixed matchup. One mixed matchup still to go. Andrea Koop out on the court for the Carolina Pickleball Club. She will be playing alongside Colin Johns. Their opponents, Agika and Hurricane, Tyra Black, Cameron Irwin alongside Rob Cassidy. There's still something to be played for, even for Dallas to walk away with one more game, because when you look at some of the point differential, matches won, losses won, when we get all the way to the end, to the playoffs, only 6 teams making it to the Major League Pickleball playoffs. There'll be 2 rounds of them. Every point really does matter, even if you walk away with a 3-0 win here.
That's right. The points are extremely important, but with all those teams and all of those events, there's going to be several ties, and it's going to come down to games won, and that's why these matter. They're going to matter very much so later in the year.
Game 4.
You'll see Hurricane Tyra Black playing on the left side. She'll be head-to-head with Colin Johns. Loves to play that right.
0-0.
We saw this earlier today with Andrea Koop playing the left. There'll still be a cross-court exchange between the ladies and the gentlemen.
It's going to be fun to watch Agika and Tyra Black get to work here. Some
1-0.
really strong, solid pickleball. A couple of those players that I would recommend emulating your game around.
Point.
Yeah, we were talking about the climatic rise of Tyra Black just in the last year or so in the sport of pickleball. Agika has pretty much done the
2-0.
same thing in his own right on the men's side. An early and loud call from Colin. Agika out of Phoenix, Arizona, though, to finish my thought. Played some tennis at the University of New Mexico as well as the University of Arizona. So comes from a bit of a table tennis background. Andrea Koop dropping that down. Rob, do you know what biostatistics is?
Yeah.
You do? No. Oh. Caught Koop. She wanted to let it go, but the paddle got right in the way.
4-2.
You imagine there can be a little bit of a moral victory on the side of Carolina here. Come away with a mixed win.
Ball, left foot, out of bounds.
Is off the bounce.
Replay, sorry.
Long days.
He getting to everybody.
Oops. Ball. I meant strike. It's okay. We will replay.
A foot fault called on Andrea Koop. However, it was not one, that ball coming off the bounce. So if you're Tyra, where do you load playing the left side? Where do you counter?
Load.
In terms of the counter, right? So obviously a lot of times on the right side, you're countering with that two-hand backhand, right? But for her, she's countering and shifting middle with her two-hand backhand even there instead of going with the forehand. It's just it's a little bit of a different look when the lady's playing the left.
Yeah, preference. It's a little contextual based on where the ball is. But yeah, she has a fantastic two-handed counter. If she wants to keep it there, she can just relocate her body to make the backhand the relevant shot.
They're heavily loading through the middle right now.
And the fun part about playing with the lefty is she gets to go to that backhand and know that the lefty has their forehand in that middle as well.
And that's some of the context that I was referring to, too. It's interesting, again, with her being on that left and Augie still looking to be aggressive. Utilize that forehand through the middle. There might be some crowding as there's the speed up to the forehand side. So maybe trying to catch her there as she continues to shift.
Yeah,
5-5.
that's fair. I think that would pay back dividends.
Point.
Maybe a spot for Colin to look. He just found one there. 5-all. Or make it 6-5.
6-5.
Carolina. Augie waiting patiently for his shot. Some hip mobility being tested on the side of Andrea Coop, trying to decide exactly whether she was going to volley or let that ball come off the bounce. Flying through. Augie stealing that away from Tyra.
That's what needed to be done. That is the play. That's the move.
7-6.
And again, with that lefty forehand in the middle, he's able to make those moves. Tyra Black is so fast that she will have his back no matter.
But again, you can see that cross-court exchange, volley to volley, both between Coop
8-6.
and Black. Coop has really yet to redirect that and send that up the line.
Side up.
Tyra doing just that, but misses it wide. Again, Dallas Flash already having the 3-0 victory over Carolina here.
7-8.
Colin stepping over, straddling the center line now. And he's looking to find some aggressive play. Hard to do from that right side.
Yeah, that was an awesome point. That influential backhand from Colin Johns in the middle. That was a fantastic point from both sides. Augie ready for the next one. Communication gives him the forehand.
From the right to the left of the court, Augie spreading the defense. Making them work back.
9-8. Point.
Again, trying to force Coop to make the decision whether to volley or let that ball off the bounce. Some of that indecision has created some pop-ups.
Side out. Point 9. Nine, 10.
It's the first time we've really seen Coop misdirect, go up the line, pays off. If you were to try and find a spot on Augie as a lefty, where do you go?
I like behind him on his backhand side. I think that's a great spot if you can make him play the bounce.
Maybe that right shoulder?
Right shoulder could be good. Maybe the
Side out.
left
Point
shoulder.
11.
Maybe jam him up on his left shoulder of his dominant paddle hand, the chicken wing area.
11, 10.
Dangerous player, Augie good.
Started playing in October of 2022. Tyra has just been on a riot today, playing so solid. recently signing a deal with Reebok,
12, 10.
Nice.
premier sponsor. Andrea Coop staying steady. It feels as if Colin Johns is just completely iced out here. Is there a level that's maybe too far for him to go at this point in terms of crossing that center line to try and get involved?
11, 12.
I don't think so. I think he's holding his ground enough to allow Andrea Coop to dictate that cross-court rally. That last point was a nice little solution found for them into the cross-court. In this exchange, I feel Coop is in a good place. Let's see what she can do with it.
That's the second time.
And it's, you know, Colin Johns' phantom positioning on that right side that's shutting down that side of the court, funneling the ball to Coop so she can control the point. Very good. They're now within one.
11-12.
Tied,
to your
excuse
point.
me.
Or excuse, yeah, right on.
Rally scoring.
Get you every time. And then finding the backhand side, or excuse me, the forehand side of Colin Johns.
Quite literally the reason why he needs to stay over there during those exchanges.
But I imagine as we head to the end change here, there has to be a probability. Like you give her one of those every once in a while that you're willing to give up so that you can cover that much more middle. What do you think the proportion should be there?
Not the last point, but the two previous points, I really think they had the proportions in check. Coop has the forehand middle, so his amount of coverage in the middle is not essential for Coop's forehand can do just as much damage as his backhand in that situation. So shutting down that sideline, not allowing Tyra Black to attack straight on, and allowing Coop to control the points. It's some hard work for Coop, but you know, I've seen her do some amazing things on the court, so I think she's up for it.
Yeah, I mean, by him being that far towards the center line, it really allows her to kind of free up and find that backhand. She can sit more towards that sideline. And right now, it's working in their favor as they are down by just one. This is a very different look right now. This is the closest we have really seen in terms of the change of end in any of these games for this match between Dallas and Carolina.
Right.
Most of them have been about that 13-8 mark or 13-9.
It's a pretty fun little setup we have on championship court here. You know, the lefty-righty duo is fairly unique, if you will, but having two righties and the woman on the left side is even more unique. So we still have the women cross court from each other, even though there's one lefty and one righty male.
Colin very comfortable on that right side, one of the best in the game. Colin choosing to reset there.
You see him taking more middle like he requested. Also there for the close.
Do that. And again, to me, it's about playing the percentages. Like, let her have maybe 2 points, 3 points that direction. But the reality is you're adding so much pressure into that cross court. You're forcing the game to also shift in terms of the strategy.
Yes. He takes that middle. Tyra Black takes the sideline. That's not the trade that I would like to make.
Right now, she's coming away with it. Found three that direction.
15-13.
A heck of a shot from the baseline. She's got the two-hand backhand drive. Some conversation about her drive the past week.
And that stretching out of Colin there is testament to why he really needs to stay home as far as positioning. And let Coop take care of business just like that.
I don't know about you, but I was kind of hoping there'd be like a little bit of a Ben Johns in the mixed matchup versus Tyra Black. Just to see a little sizzle, you know, a little fun with it.
Yes. Settle some stuff on the court, sure.
Obviously, both of them so fun. So just imagine how many drives you might see.
Yeah.
17-14. Side out. Point. 15.
Closing over.
Side out. Point. 18.
They're very in sync, Agiga and Tyra Black. Nice to see the coverage even there.
18-15.
Knowing who covers middle, even on that cross court. Trusting one another. Little extra something for Augie. 19-15 here. Just when you thought this was actually close, the expanse has now grown between Dallas and Carolina. 4-point differential, and the timeout taken. Colin John sits on the sidelines now. Is there a way they can swing this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's been the solution the entire time, is just that smidge of additional energy. That energy could allow Cameron, you know, we were talking about his decision to maybe cover middle more as opposed to cover his sideline. That energy, or shifting with the ball, can allow you to cover both, as long as you just start moving a little bit more, which I think he's capable of doing. But yeah, Tyra Black, Augie Guh, not going anywhere. We're reaching that 25.
I imagine there's going to be a switch here. Colin moving to the left, and Andrea over to the right.
That's tricky. It's an option. It's a fun option to consider. They're going to go for it. The perils of it is what's going to happen is, yes, you're giving your opponents different looks, but you're also giving yourself new looks as well. And is there time and room for that with the score the way that it is right now?
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, we'll see.
Colin Johns on the return.
19-15.
And now it's Black going still up the line, but this time it's Coop sitting in front of her. She has just been unstoppable.
20-15. Side out. Point 16.
I think he made up his mind literally. He's even smiling, running back to the baseline.
16-20.
That in between.
Point.
That's the second we've seen now.
17-20.
Pablo Tejas watching on as a part of the Texas Ranchers.
Yes, he's conserving that energy. Going to get those engines started soon. Texas Ranchers next on this court.
They will face off against the DC Pickleball team next year on our championship court. Some quick hands, but pulled just wide with the forehand. A handful of errors right now from Augie. 3 in the last 5 points. Pulls it again. She is just going without ceasing. I mean, why not just continue to pull that trigger if you're taking away that many points up the line?
Why not? Indeed. Right back to it.
Point.
That time it's with the forehand. Finding different ways to attack as well.
23-18. Side out.
Ooh, goes for it,
19.
does she? Through the midcourt.
19-23.
From the backhand to the forehand, she is well prepped at the line. Game point for the Dallas Flash, looking for a 4-0 win.
24-19.
Not so fast, the two-hand backhand goes awry. Must win on your serve, so
20-24.
a shot for Carolina to climb.
Side out.
Score remains 24-20. A second look at game point.
24-20.
Oh, there was a pop-up. I thought Andrea Koop was going to go for it. Instead, she waited.
More fight in this point here than we've seen in most from Carolina. Now it's time to stack some points.
Point.
Waiting this time, it's Koop going cross-court, catches Augie. 22-24. Dallas needs two. They need a side out and one.
22-24.
There's that infamous backhand counter from Colin Johns, 23-24. Looking for the tie. It was 19-15 in favor of Dallas. Now just a one-point game.
Nice.
Make it a tie ball game.
Colin Johns is looking good on that left side in front of that lefty. And this switch that they've done has denied Tyra Black the cross court with the girl,
24-24.
the woman.
Back to rally scoring on both sides. Must win by two here. The first counter was superb, excuse me, the first block from Colin Johns was superb. The ball out of bounds, and all of a sudden, the tide has changed, and Carolina, I believe, with the 25-24 lead, as that ball was out of bounds.
Yes, 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 yes. So, didn't see this coming. Love it. Colin Johns on the left side, crushing it. Tyra Black, Augie, they're going to take this back.
A really nice change there from Carolina. Again, it came in that timeout. Colin shifting back and now finds himself on the left side. Carolina can't come away with any points here in terms of standings points. However, a little moral victory as they've gone 0-2 on the day in terms of their total matches.
Tough day in the office. Not a bad day, though, considering you get to play some good old-fashioned pickleball out here in Washington, D.C. It has been beautiful out here. I'm loving the trees. I'm loving the grass. Loving the weather here.
We got to get you out there, see if you can get out on the mall. Maybe go visit Abe.
25-24.
Abe?
Out to the mall.
Would love to visit some Abe. Here we go.
the door and finds a game for the Carolina Pickleball Club.
It's a great way to end the match. You know, if there's any way in doing so, the W will go to the Dallas Flash, but not a bad way to end it for Carolina Pickleball.
A little bit of a moral victory on the side of Carolina, but it's the Dallas Flash having picked up the men's match, the women's match, as well as the first mixed match. A fantastic day for them, and it will continue on as they will be back out on our grandstand court coverage to face off against the New York Hustlers right on the other side of this break. But so far, Dallas is playing clutch.